Right. Howdy, everyone. I'm Velocity X Storm Chasing.
Alrighty. Question one: what inspired you to become a storm chaser?
I've been uh, really interested in meteorology ever since I was really young. And basically, as soon as I got my license, before I got my license, I've been chasing my parents. But I guess what inspired me is just the beauty of it. I just think nature's beautiful. And I also want to help people in the path of storms.
All right. Um, how do you define a successful storm chase? And then to build on top of that, how do you define a successful storm chasing season?
I think a successful storm chase is really anything where we really get into some action and just see some beautiful storms or get to help people. And off of the add on question, what defines a good season is just if I enjoy my time and see beautiful nature and see storms, that's a successful season to me.
All right. Let's see what's next. How do you stay physically and mentally prepared for the demands of chasing storms?
Uh, I just really kind of dial myself in and just focus at the task at hand. And, it's just, you got to stay calm. And if I'm calm, then even if I fake it, it'll make me feel more calm myself, and I'll make better judgment.
All right. Can you share your favorite storm chasing memory or experience?
That would have had to been this last summer. I caught an amazing storm. Uh, Bow segment actually moved through a town to my north. Power lines were going down. It was intense, but it was amazing. And the structure of the storm was just unbelievable. Perfect shelf cloud, strong winds. It was beautiful. But
All right.
that'd have to be my favorite.
All right. What advice would you give to someone considering becoming a storm chaser?
If you really have the passion for it, you'll love it. There's a lot of driving and a lot of waiting involved, but if it turns out, it's well worth the wait. So just keep pursuing it. You may not get it the first time or the first few tries, but when you finally do, it really pays off. So stay committed. Is really to shorten that up.
All right. In your opinion, what is the most essential piece of equipment for storm chasing?
Radar, and the knowledge to just visually know what you're looking at, stay out of bad situation.
All right, and that kind of answers the next question. How do you stay informed about weather forecasts and developments while on the road?
Radar scope really is what I use. It's a very good program and very accurate.
All right. Let's see. What's next? How do you deal with the uncertainty of not knowing when or where a storm will occur?
Um, that's a good question. I really just kind of wait and I'll kind of play it back so when something really does develop, I can get to it. I don't go so aggressive that I'm in one area and so something else develops somewhere else I'm not ready for it. I kind of keep my options open to account for the changing weather patterns and how it can change at the drop of a hat.
All right. Are there any specific advancements in technology that you believe will revolutionize storm chasing?
I really think better prediction of when a storm will fire off, not just, the estimated time, but really pinpointing times and when it'll go through a community, how fast it's moving, stuff like that.
All right. Let's see. What are we doing on time? Have you ever faced a situation where you had to prioritize your safety over getting the perfect shot?
Yes, just that storm that I was mentioning before back in this summer. Uh, I could have gotten into the bear's cage to get a good shot, but I decided it was safer if I didn't. And so I may have not gotten the shot I wanted, but it was a lot safer for me to not get trapped in such a uh, bad situation.
All right. What are your thoughts on the portrayal of storm chasers in the media?
I really think they portray us as just a bunch of adrenaline junkies, which is not the case. I mean, some chasers chase for that, but a lot of us chase just because we love the weather and we love what we do and we love the beauty of it. And I think we need to be changing the perception that we're given to more of a it's what we love, not just because it's fun.
Alrighty. Uh, how do you navigate? How do you determine the balance between getting close to a storm and maintaining a safe distance?
Um, I get pretty close, but there's almost that feeling inside of you that just something in your gut's like, I shouldn't be here, or I'm getting too close. It's really a gut feeling, and when you have experience, you really that feeling is prevalent more. Um, but just staying away from, developing tornado, don't want to be under that, or a really strong wind bag or anything. Kind of trying to stay away from that and using my tools at hand to measure where those dangers are.
All right. Well, I think that is it. So, if you just want to say one of your socials really quick, also add it in the description, but you can say it here as well.
All right, YouTube link Velocity X Storm Chasing.
All right.
Go ahead.
Thanks for.
Hi, I'm Iowa Cloud Chaser. I'm the co-owner of this Discord server and channel.
Who's next? Fusion.
I'm Fusion. I've been a Twisted content creator for over a year now, and I've been tracking real life weather things for, I don't know, an amount of time.
I'm Iron Tens. I'm from the best state of all, Colorado.
For real. Agree. I agree. Anyway.
I'm a weather nerd, and used to make Twisted, and then Twisted got boring, so now I'm in real life weather.
Bro turned into the quietest thing I've ever.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Okay.
Oh, you need me to repeat myself? Hi,
No,
my
no.
name is Iron Ten.
Oh my gosh. This is what I
Okay.
meant. Okay.
Hang on, guys. Before we get started, listen to my can pop.
No.
Okay. Anyway. Um, what inspired you to either become a storm chaser or start tracking weather?
Mayfield.
Okay, that's quite simple.
Okay.
Um,
I'll let Fusion go first. Or
I'm gonna say probably if you chances are you probably heard of this, but the uh series Tornado Chasers that Reed Timmer is on.
yeah.
I found that and I absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah, I found that too, but I think if I remember right, that was after I think it was like 2017. I think there was like a tornado like right outside my house.
Oh, dang. That's
Yeah.
kind of.
Mhm.
Anyway, next, you guys are quite fast answers. The last group, they took like 7 minutes a question.
Oh God.
Bros
Right.
gave their whole life stories.
I
I was
only-
once a young boy.
For real, I only asked like 5 questions and it took 30 minutes. How do you define a successful storm tracking or storm chasing season?
Um, well, missing the main event definitely doesn't make it great.
Nope.
I did miss March 31st.
I did not miss.
I bailed out of school to track that.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I kind of couldn't bail out of my grandmother's funeral, so
Oh,
Oh,
rest in peace.
okay. I kind of went straight from school to Kyoto to chasing Kyoto. So that
But
was fun. But then I
but yeah,
also
it was
had to
funny.
recycle. Oh,
I was
I
in
also
science class, and like I was finishing up my assignment. I just finished my test, and I look in the SBC, and I knew it was about to update, and the thing like the measure skill discussions for the high risk already came out, so I was waiting, and then it was high risk. So I
Okay,
decided to spam email my parents, and coincidentally, I got like an award thing. So my parents bailed me out of school.
okay, how about we stay on track of the question? Iowa, how do you define a successful storm chasing season?
um, I mean, obviously, seeing tornadoes. It would not be a good season if you do not see a tornado while chasing. Um, I mean, I mean, only being 13 or now 14, I can't really chase that often. Like I've only gotten like 4 chases this year, although I have seen I think 9 tornadoes this year. But I mean, now that I actually have a camera, I'm also getting like good photos of the tornadoes
All right. Let's see how
or
many.
storms in general.
Oh wow, you guys are doing like we're only 4 minutes in. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I
Oh
No,
no!
I do not start.
after after two questions, the last group we were like 17 minutes in. Um, hmm. How do you stay physically and mentally prepared for the demands of a storm chasing or tracking, like the pictures you could see, or watching a tornado go through somewhere and not being able to do anything about it, or whatnot?
Well,
I forfeit from this question.
I mean, I can't really do a whole lot about things like that as someone who just tracks. I don't have like major like media influence at all, so it's kind of difficult in the senses like that. I really just like try to warn anyone that I might know in areas like that, but I really mostly know local people, and we don't get crazy tornado seasons here in Ohio anymore, really. So
Okay. Iowa.
I think he's AFK. He said, "Give me a minute." The chat.
Hold on, we gotta take a pause here. Why do you, come on, answer this question, Iron.
I don't have a lot to say when it comes to this question.
Okay, fair enough.
The one tornado I actually chased was Yuma, and even then, I was in the worst position possible, and I barely saw anything.
Well, I'll ask Fusion and you the next question, and then when he comes back, we'll ask him the one we were just on. Anyway, uh, can you share your favorite storm tracking memory or experience or whatnot?
I
Um,
wouldn't call or Fusion. You go.
See, for me, it's probably definitely this year because I didn't get to do a whole lot of like in-depth tracking last year. Um, but Rolling Fork, I definitely like the second I laid eyes on the storm, I knew it was gonna do something crazy. So it was very cool kind of seeing that go on to be like the tornado of the year. Like that was like the first time I felt like I knew that was gonna do something. And
Okay.
December 10th was or December 9th was very interesting to track as well. Just jumping between storms, seeing. like what the heck is happening, and it was very cool to see footage of the explosion.
Call it like an amazing or best because it's tragedy, but like the most meaningful one, I guess, would be Rolling for Gamery. Because I'm gonna be honest, back then I was one of those EF5 people. But after Rolling Fork, it made me realize that, like, yeah, who cares about a tornado rating? Because people
Yeah,
die,
that was
and
kind of the
and
tornado
the,
that made that
and
transition for me too.
and also the thing is with the Rolling Fork storm, what I when it was when I was first, I was actually on a plane flying from New Orleans back to Colorado, and we were doing this very weird route. And from a distance, I ended up seeing this, like the storm that would later produce the Rolling Fork storm, because I had to cross a little bit in the Mississippi. For some reason, the flight route was weird. Um, and I went from and I was on radar looking at the storm. I'm like, that's about to do something, and then I had to turn off my phone to land. And then the moment I got internet, once I landed, I saw tornado emergency for Rolling Fork. And then I was staring at radar and Twitter, like going through the terminals and everything, going home. And then by the time I was home and was able to get on my computer and stuff, that's when Amory started forming. And I tracked all of that.
Nice. Uh, Iowa, are you back?
Okay, I'm back. I'm not. Is this still the same question or is it a different one?
Different.
Well, you didn't. No, no. I have to have you finish the first one.
Yeah.
How do you stay physically and mentally prepared for the demands of storm chasing?
So, I mean, since I'm 14, I'm not like actually driving, so I don't really have to prepare for that too much. But I mean, I haven't really seen any like true like tornado damage like in person. But like even this like I think it was May, like 7th, I think it was. I kind of actually went into a hill court and my windshield was kind of busted, and that was not fun because that is like so much louder than people think. Just being having golf ball size hail falling, and um, I mean, usually I'm like forecasting an event or whatever at least a few days ahead of time. Um, I mean, not like I mean, on like tracking storms, I know like what's most certainly possible on like the higher end of tornadoes, like with the rolling fork and the Kyoto one that was chasing. Um, what the Matador too. That was also like really like kind of like scary looking on like Twitter or like seeing all the damage for the first time or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question that I just need you to answer. Can you share your favorite storm chasing or storm tracking memory?
Mm. So my favorite storm chase would probably have to be between July 12th, which was the uh like kind of like Chicago suburbs twins, and it would probably be between that and then it, and probably I think it was and then it would get probably I guess say the September or not September March 31st, the Kyoto day.
Okay. Um, and then next question for everybody. What emotions do you experience when witnessing uh, a particularly dramatic weather event, whether it's in person or on radar?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What emotions do you experience when witnessing a particularly dramatic weather event, whether it be on radar or in person?
Personally, I'd have to say that's a lot of like heartbreak, obviously, because I'm literally watching communities get torn apart, and like I kind of know what it's like firsthand. Sure, it's not by a natural disaster, but like I'm experiencing something like that firsthand, and I have lost a lot of close people to me this year, and I know other people are experiencing that like much more unexpectedly than I have. So like I just feel incredibly bad for everyone that's happening to. And I'm also kind of facing this like confused emotion where I'm trying to process what the heck just happened because so much
Mhm.
happens in such a short period of time where like I don't know if I'm awake even, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes while storm chasing, as like pretty much everyone does, sometimes you get a little bit like too close to the like or like tornado or potential like tornado forming area. I get like a little worried for like a little bit, and I normally calm down. It's not. I don't go like crazy. It's just like let's get out here type of thing. Um, but like tracking, definitely get like worried and like a little scared for the people. I mean, not like too terribly scared, but I mean like get a little scared for the people that's going on that's like hitting or like impacting, I should say. 'Cause, I mean, as Fusion said, it does affect them a lot.
Iron.
I love how everyone just said exactly what I was gonna say.
Well,
Oh.
that's fun.
Okay. So
So
then,
what they said.
all right.
Okay.
Last question. Let me find one. Let me pick one from this list.
Oh no, not now, internet.
How do
Oh, Fusion.
you? Okay. How do you contribute to public safety and awareness during severe weather events?
When I'm looking at radar and I see something that would cause harm or danger, I'll tweet about it to just
Hmm.
get people to know. No one usually sees it to tweet, but just to help for the few that do see it. And also, like 9 times out of 10, that after every major tornado event or outbreak, I usually donate to some kind of charity that covers it because those things pop up quick the moment a
Hmm.
tornado happens.
Yeah. As you guys know, I'm like a part of Team Bolt, and
Yeah, I
like
just
I do
so,
I'm mainly just like a storm chaser for them, but I do some analysis. So when they need someone to fill in and like make actual like posts on the account. But I guess I don't really post too much on my like account on like main account on like that type of stuff. I mean, I guess I have like submitted like tornado reports while chasing. Like I think this September, I think it was the 22nd. Whatever was actually the first one to report multiple tornadoes in like eastern Iowa. Yeah, it was September 22nd.
Fusion. You got anything?
Um, I kind of try to just like notify as many people of the situation as I can because even if I'm only like, for example, pinging a Discord server of 100 people in it, like those 100 people, there's a chance that someone could live in a near area that could be affected by a storm, or they could know people in the path as well. And like it's kind of just like a domino effect. Like
Mhm.
you notify one person, they know, now they'll notify people and so on. Like just simply getting the word out there helps so much more than people would ever think.
All right. And I think that's everyone. One more thing before I end the video. If you'd like to just say one of your socials, I'll also add it in the description. But with the
Uh
last group, they wanted to say one of their socials before we.
can I say two?
Sure, go for it.
Iron Tens on YouTube and Iron Tens WX on Twitter. Or if you're
Fusion
extra
Yeah.
nerdy, X.
Fusion
Uh,
2307
well,
on YouTube for me.
and then at Iowa Cloud Chaser on X/Twitter for me.
Nerd.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Okay, so hello, I am James, and I do photography and I do spotting. So next.
I guess.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm Kai. I chase storms sometimes, and for some reason, I get paid to do that. I don't know why. I shouldn't.
all
Next.
right. I'm Bean. I take photos and such, and I help out a few of the chasers and yeah.
Okay. First question here. What inspired you to become a storm chaser?
Um, for me, I'd say it was last year. Actually, I'd been thinking about it for like last couple years before then, like 2022. But then, like November 4th, the Idabel tornado happened, and we went up there, and that was when I made my decision that I was going to start doing stuff seriously this year because I guess something about being there was like, all right, no, I want to do stuff now. I want to contribute. So that would be it for me. I think.
Anybody else?
What was the question?
What inspired you to become a storm chaser?
Oh God, dude, you're going way back for me. So you probably never heard 2014. It it was a bad outbreak down here, and I just remember like coming out watching TV and a weatherman he was tracking like 3 to 4 tornadoes at the same time, and I'm just I was just sitting there wondering like why does this happen? Like nobody has done anything. Why does this happen? And like it just went from there. Ah,
I guess while he's gone, I can piggyback.
Yeah.
I kind of like I first got interested in like meteorology when I was like literally in kindergarten. I picked up some random book in the school library and kind of headed off from there. But I really started to kind of understand the severity of like tornadoes because that was like severe weather is kind of what I was interested in from day one. But it was like the more I actually was as like I was little. I was on a big old pillow fort I built, and it was the day that more happened, and I was watching it live just rip through, and I was young enough that like I understood a little bit what was happening, but not everything. But and then after that, I definitely got interested in more like the scientific side of meteorology, that kind of stuff. And then I would say I was kind of like I was aware when like Mayfield happened, like right that setup. And when it happened, I kind of realized, oh crap, like just the it was like I guess the most like fresh one I can remember that I was like I want to more pivot towards like the live side of things of like whether it's storm chasing or live coverage or response things like that like helping out on the ground or helping out like live. So that's
Yeah.
kind of Mayfield's kind of what like I would say absolutely solidified it for me. Obviously, I think I don't really know what event sparked it, but I feel like Mayfield is where it solidifies. Like, all right, it's time.
Yeah, that's what I had also. Because I've been watching it since like 2015, watching weather since like 2015 because that's just what I do. I guess that is like the one thing I care about doing weather. So like I've always been interested in it. I've just never like thought about actually doing anything with it because like what do I do? I can't drive a car, so like
yeah.
20,
I was
2022 just kind of was like, all right, no, let's just try this next year, see how it goes, and no.
Yep, sorry. I was still at my part, but yeah, for me 2014 was what really ignited it, but what really first discovered it was probably 2013. I was on Netflix and you probably know this series Storm Chasers, Tornado Chasers, Reed Timmer. I was just watching that. I don't know why. I was just watching that and then all of a sudden just something clicked, like an interest of what I did. And I remember May 2013. I think like my mom knew that I enjoyed watching the series. She came into my room and she showed me this live stream. Reed Timmer, he was chasing El Reno and like was really fascinated, and I just couldn't stop watching it. It was just really fascinating, and then I just knew what I wanted to do.
Alrighty. Hmm. Okay, this is a good question. How do you define a successful storm chasing season?
Uh, Season. That
Or
one's definitely.
storm
Mm.
chasing specifically?
Yeah, because a chase is
Wow.
easier to define though season, because like an entire storm chasing season, I consider that to be the entire year because like, you know, so like, I guess that's very subjective to like what you're chasing for, but that is a good question.
I would probably say, in my opinion, a good season would probably be like every week or so. There would probably be a decent amount of tornadoes, maybe 15, 20 a week. That's just my opinion.
I would
If we're talking
so
about the entire year, that's a lot.
yeah, that is. I would say for me, like if you're trying to make chasing like a viable thing for you, it's just simple growth or consistency.
Yeah,
Just,
and
yeah.
if you're just like kind of like how I am, I technically do professional stuff, but not really. I'm just kind of here, and I have that to do. So for me, it's like I'm not worried about like the growth or like any of that side. I'm just kind of here to see the cool spinny angry fog and help out afterwards because that's what you got to do. When the angry fog steals your house, you got to do something about it, you know.
Um, I'm just going based off of my season. My season isn't summer. It would be more spring, fall, early winter. That's my
When
season.
when I say chase season, I'm referring to the entire year. Because like for me, that's chase season. If there's an event, I'm going for it. If I have the opportunity, that is. I will
Well, I
chase
can
the
drag it,
2%.
so
Yeah, for this
I can
year,
drag it.
I'd consider this year successful. Because actually, let me check. I have
Yeah.
this year, 5 tornadoes, 2 hailstorms, and 3 funnels that didn't do tornado stuff. So to me, that's successful. I very easily could have got that to 30. Like if I had chased like 4 extra events that I was like, oh yeah, I'll go for them, and then didn't.
The
I
hailstorm.
I almost
The
got
hail-
a Perry 10 earlier in like June, and I'm mad I missed that. I missed that because
the
I couldn't.
hailstorms. It's the
You're right.
hailstorms that didn't commit the spinnies.
Honestly, the hailstorms are still pretty. Those 2 hailstorms came from the same chase day, and we got hit by a tornado on that day. So like, whatever.
I mean,
Counts.
yeah,
Intercept the tornado in a Honda. It's great. There are
it doesn't.
There's reasons we don't let Ash navigate the car anymore.
But
There's reasons
yeah,
why I'm the one doing radar.
in my opinion, it doesn't take a high risk to have the most photogenic storm.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer like the
agreed.
lower like 2%, 5% to chase.
Yep, yeah, no, for
Mhm.
sure. Usually
Because, like-
most moderates I feel like are high, or even a lot of enhanced turn into more like crap vection events than anything else. I mean,
or
Yeah.
like they're
especially
like
in Dixie.
like March
Oh, yeah.
31st this year they're either like the Omega Wedge or it's like and okay, well yes, Kyoto is an amazing tornado, yes. No, I'm not gonna lie. But I'd rather have Kyoto or Perry. I'm gonna go with
Dixie.
Perry because like that's a more photogenic tornado than Kyoto.
Like dryline pulse storms are the best.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I think a really good example of why like the 2% are still good is like Morgan from last year. That was such an amazing tornado. And that was the 2%. So like this year's been really insane with 2% also. But I can't think of any event specifically to pull because my
They
brain's
could get all or nothing.
Okay,
Yeah.
we
What
got
was Chugwaters? What was Chugwaters? Was that 5?
that might have been a 5. I'm not sure.
That was either 5 or 10. I think it was 5.
5 or 10%, one of the
I
two.
think that was a 5.
Yeah, that one put down a bunch. I knew a lot of
Yeah.
people who were on that one. That was a
Yeah.
Yep.
good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Next question. How has storm chasing impacted your perspective on weather and nature as a whole?
I'll let someone else go first here.
Well, perspective on nature. Well, it probably makes you have a little bit more respect to nature because,
Definitely.
yeah. Um. So, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Crap.
We have no clue what we're doing.
I made no script for this. So,
I didn't prepare anything. I just have a list of
so, so it probably helps have a more beautiful effect because if you go chasing and you see a supercell with a sunset with a double rainbow, pretty. And nature's pretty, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd also say like whenever there's storms in my area, I am a lot less scared than I was compared to like a year ago. Because now it's like, oh, I'll get
Mm-hmm.
wake. I live in Dallas Fort Worth, so like at least like 5 times a year, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. by tornado sirens going
Yeah.
because this is Dallas. What
Yeah,
else happened?
same.
So like currently, it's just like okay, let me get up, check my radar. Oh, hey, look, that's funny, cool. Dad's not doing anything. All right, next. That's what I do. I just don't care.
Honestly,
Like,
honestly, I'm like,
oh no, the EF7 is gonna slam my house. Ah! Yeah, I was like,
that
okay, well,
reminds
I'm gonna go
me.
step outside and film the EF4 at my house. I'll be right back.
That reminded me a few years ago. I had a tornado warning. Like it produced the EF0 not far here. It was like 12 o'clock at night. My weather radio went off. I looked at it like, oh cool, a supercell.
I would say for me, like, so like as a kid, like I wasn't like afraid of storm, but like I say I hated storms at night as a kid. I don't know. I didn't like
Yeah.
see. I didn't like not. I didn't like not seeing the storm itself. Uh, but like I wouldn't say I was scared of it or anything. But one thing I guess that I like with just kind of the experience I have now is that like you understand what's going on. Like
Yeah,
back, like back when we were younger, it was when you look at radar, you just see, oh, red, red, it was heavy rain, blah, blah, blah. You didn't really understand the full magnitude thing. So, like, certain, just like, windstorms felt like crazy, but the
Mm-hmm.
reality they weren't. Versus, like, now you're like, oh, you see the storm starting to surge out, starting to bow out a little bit. You're like, oh, crap, big amount of winds come. Like, it helps that part, especially at night where you don't know. Now you kind of do. So,
yeah,
like, I guess it's like those things, like I said, it's not like I was like afraid as a kid, but more or less of just, you didn't know as much. And then now
yeah.
knowing more, it's better.
Yeah, going back to something we said like a few minutes ago, in like 2019, I lived like just south of where I am currently, and Dallas got hit by that EF3 then. Uh,
Oh yeah.
if I was the same person I was before in like 29, if I was the same person, I would have been scared of it. I was just standing at the back of my glass door as the tornado just threw a stop sign into my yard, as a tornado does, just like, oh, that's a tornado. Oh, cool! I want to go outside. I did that again in
So,
Waco this year. I just like almost jumped out of the car with the tornado like 10 feet in front of us, tearing up a gas station. I'm great
but
at this.
I'm just gonna say, like, the color palette for a kid, red is bad, green is good. But when you get more into it, it's like, okay, so we got a hook echo north of Moore. So, do we have any Mamatsis clouds to have an updraft, downdraft? Is it low freeze? Bro, get that car out. But
Dominator.
but but for me, what probably cured mine, because as a kid, we had like, Dixie Alley. We get tornado outbreaks, pretty much maybe 20 outbreaks a year down here
Yeah.
in Dixie. And as a kid, I was terrified. I mean, like, deathly terrified of lightning. Like, like basically the devil's outside kind of scared. But but
Yeah.
I rem I do remember one time, it was a supercell south of me. I just went outside. It was lightning so much, and I just watched outside, and I was like, huh, supercell.
Supercell.
And
Yeah, that's
and
guys. Hey guys, today we promote the movie Supercell.
and I just became less scared of it. I just came to learn to accept it, and that's just the beauty of a storm is the lightning.
Yeah.
And and what I said, that's bringing me back to
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
actually my whole thing with lightning has changed too. Like, I used to like hate just being out like around lightning. This I still don't love it just because like it's lightning. But
It's
like
so
now,
random.
but now you'll find me on the top of parking garages or mountains with my camera and tripod and a 10 stop ND filter, trying to get lightning shots. Like,
Guilty.
I have
Guilty.
like especially the last couple of years, I have almost been struck so many times.
I
It's
haven't been, like scared of lightning as much as it was like just not knowing what the storm was doing, you know? Because
well,
like
yeah, it's
that
just
was
not knowing when
the
it's gonna happen.
yeah.
That's the
So
thing. It's
now
like,
that I understand it, as they said, I'm the type of person who will go like drive 10 hours and stand like 10 feet away from an EF0 tornado that's crossing the road in front of them because like why not?
It's
It's
near
fun.
zero. It's fine. You could literally walk right through it
Yeah.
and you'll be fine.
Earlier, as I said in like Waco earlier this year, we did exactly that. It was amazing. I want to do it again. I almost did it when being Ash for chasing up in Seymour this September, but I decided not to because the power flashes were going off, and I decided that was a bit of a stupid idea to jump out of the car then.
yeah.
I'll try that.
Okay.
But
Next,
I
we're
remember.
running out
question?
of time here. We got it. We got to move
Yeah.
on. How do you, as a storm chaser, stay physically and mentally prepared for what can come while you're chasing?
Mm.
Me, like, I guess it's because I already kind of am not doing that great overall. It doesn't really affect me. Also, that's probably just my brain not being wired correctly already. So, like, for me, it's not like something I'm actively scared of, besides, the fact that, oh, hey, this tornado could be producing damage and hurting people. That's not good. But I'm not actively scared, usually, like, what we're gonna find after. Unless it's, like, situations like Rolling Fork or whatever, where, like, that one, if I was there, which I'm very glad I did not go for that one. We almost did. I'm glad we did. But, like, running into that's what scares me. Not like I'm not usually scared of it, so like I don't usually have to worry about it. But like when things start happening, it's just like, how do I prepare for this? And I don't have the answer to that yet.
But yeah, for me, it it literally happens to me so many times. Like it's I don't know how to not be mentally prepared because I'm just so used to it. And
Yeah,
pardon me.
I mean, like,
Mm,
good.
But physically, like I I just run back and forth and I said, come on, you can do it. Run to the flattened house. Run to the flattened house. I don't know why I did that, but I don't know. It keeps me fit.
Relatively for all of us.
And how
Yeah, I just like riding my bike, so I just do that for like 3 miles each day for fun. That's usually helpful. But like,
oh
I guess I'm
what's
mentally prepared for damage. Is less like I'm gonna go back to Idabel for a minute because like that just like he's just kind of stuck in my head because it's just like the sound, everything's kind of destroyed. There's a bunch of people walking around. You're trying to figure out, oh hey, and like I guess I try and pick up like the best memories from that day because like well yes there was a lot of bad running into that. We were able to rescue a cat and that was a good thing. So I will just specifically remember the cat and then that helps. I don't know why. It's just like I guess if you pick out the good thing from the bad thing, it helps make the bad thing less bad. I would say.
yeah, I remember I was younger and we were looking at some bad tornado damage and I seen like part of the house on, part of the house was fine, and I walked out. I was like 5 at the time. I just walked out and seen the house. I was like, That was a tornado.
That's the tornado.
Wow.
Okay, sorry to cut
What
you
about
off.
you, D?
Bean, do you have anything to say about that before we move on to the
Yeah.
last question?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to like being prepared, it's almost like I don't know. I, for the most part, just kind of send it like not like recklessly, but just I try not to overthink about it too much. I stay
Yeah.
prepared. Like let's say if you're especially out here, because like I consider myself more of a regional chaser. I don't go west too often, but when I do, I do. But like, so I know my area very well, and so there's things of like oh, watching out for trees literally falling on top of your car or things like that. So there, and then just like poor visibility, using certain hills and fields to advantage. So it's like for me, I think more like right on the spot, more than like thinking out ahead of time on how to prepare myself for things. Because for the most part, it's just you almost have to just kind of not blindly go into it, but not overthink it if you want to have success. Not, and if you are to see something, not to have it affect you long term. Just handle the business and just get your best outcome
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a regional, then you know where all the good spots are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Like a number of regionals in like pretty much the entire East Coast. Like, and it's everyone else's least favorite place, but for me, I've been doing it for so long that like I'm used to it, so I understand. Like
Yeah.
if you find a really good hill, you
You see that
best want
hill.
to take it and invest in drones over here. Drones are the best. Besides
Drones are good.
the local media here eats drones footage up so much, so it's great.
I'm in the southeast, so yeah, we crave drones.
Oh
we
yeah,
just-
oh yeah.
Yeah, since I'm in DFW, I have like the people I chase with, especially next year because we're doing our stuff next year. I can go pretty much anywhere in like
Yeah.
reasonable like tornado chasing. Like we could go up to Iowa if we wanted to chase. It's just like, do we want to go to Iowa? Is it worth it that day? So like,
Yeah.
I have a lot higher of a chance to run into bad damage because like we almost went for the outbreak up in Tennessee a couple days ago. Except
Yeah.
the night of, we were pushing Ash, and me and Cameron, we were like, hey, we need to go get this. Come on, it's going to be bad. He's like, okay, but like, it's a bit late. And it was like 8 p.m. and we were like, come on, bro, let's go. We need to go. Because he's like 3 hours from my house, and we were going to leave the next day to get up there. So it's like,
I think for me, the last tornado that I chased that had like potential of being something really catastrophic was Allendale, and that system back 2022. Luckily that one just missed town, but I mean that thing on radar. I mean it looked
Yeah.
like something straight out of Kansas, and I
Kansas.
was in the notch of the thing, so I saw it, and luckily it just went south of town because I was fully prepared just to dart on in there, but luckily it didn't really hit much, and I checked, and first responders were all there, so I'm like I'm not going to get in their way. So, yeah.
Yeah, my last one. So I didn't chase. I don't drive, so I don't chase. And I was just sitting at home, and I heard about the Rolling Fork storm. I looked at that, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's headed my way." So I stayed up, watched news and stuff, and like right when it would have gotten to me, it shifted northeast and went 3 miles north of me, and then
That's
like
lucky.
and
Was it
like
producing at the
right
time?
now it was lifted, but
Yeah.
right
I
when
mean,
it
that
would have
did
been
recycle like 3 different times, if I remember right.
Yeah.
yeah, and right when it would have been right over me, it produced another one. Like it was quick. Like one scan knows nothing, next scan 100% downhill.
One scan, it's
And
oh nothing. Next scan, it's oh hey, here's Amory, Mississippi. Enjoy it.
yeah,
That's what
that
was.
was the one. That was the one.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, no. If you got hit by that, like at like pretty much almost any of us, like no, yeah.
yeah, I drove through Emory a few days later, and that town was tore up.
Yep.
And
Alright, let's probably to the last one, so we're not taking up too much time.
yeah. I was gonna continue, so I'll just continue some other time.
Yeah, that's good. I'd like to talk to you guys after. That'd be
Sure.
fun. Alright.
Well, just we'll do this one pretty quick as we're almost out of time. So just
Okay.
just answer this one pretty quickly. What is your favorite aspect of storm chasing?
The ability to like just one see the like amazingness that is the weather and stuff, and to just be able to enjoy it with my friends and to show other people, get other people into storm chasing and stuff. That's just fun for me. I love doing it, and I love being able to help after. So that's just kind of what I love about it.
I would say for me, I'd say for me, it's definitely the people like the chasing community. Like as much as like whether the weather community like Twitter gets crap and there's definitely drama, every community has that. But like I have a solid group around me, and it's just like it's being able to kind of like help each other out. It's like if I'm not out like chasing them, I've taken a role that we all call it. It's like ground team command. So like I'll sit with GR2 up and I'll just track where they are and help them and let them know where they're. Hey, the massive gorilla hail is half a mile away from you. Don't go north. Like it's things like that. Like it's helping each other out. It's just meeting new people and just kind of networking and just kind of. It's like I said, it's the people in the community that does it for me.
Yeah.
So for me, it probably would also be the people, except Twitter. Twitter has a pivotal weather vaccine.
Hey,
every community has that though. I feel like has a breeding ground of drama. For other communities, Twitter. Some communities, it's YouTube or Reddit, for instance.
Yeah.
I think every community has it.
Twitter just has a pivotal
minute.
weather vaccine.
Twitter's
Like
just
they never look at models.
to the
But,
pit.
James,
But,
you've got 1 minute.
One
I was about to
question.
continue.
Before we end this,
Hold on,
can we all
hold on. Let
say-
James finish real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. So on top of it being the community, it would probably be the beauty of it and probably the adrenaline it comes with chasing storms, but mostly the beauty of the storms. Like it's all totally random. Every storm's unique, and you just never know what you're gonna get.
All right, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say before we end this, can we all just shout out one thing before we go?
Yeah, I'll also throw it in the description with the pictures
All right,
and stuff.
okay. I'll let you guys go first.
Anyone?
You guys can go ahead first.
Any
What were you saying?
if you have any you mean social media or anything, right?
Yeah, like social media or
Oh.
something like you're doing that. Yeah, or something.
Okay, so I have an Instagram, I have a Discord,
give
and I
us
have
one.
a Facebook.
Just one. Pick one.
Okay, so I mainly post on my Facebook. My Facebook is James Charlie. It would be the picture of the weather radar, so come follow me. I'll send pictures.
I got some. Yeah, my handle is WX_beans on Twitter. That's mostly Rex. That's kind of more most of my post. I post just casually, mostly, but and mostly my mostly just either photography or storm content on there. It's other than that, not much. Just kind of slow, so I don't usually destroy people's feeds.
For me, over on YouTube, KJ Chasing, come say hi. We're working on a storm chasing show next year, so come check that out whenever it's out. That'll be pretty cool. As I said, YouTube channel, that should be in the description. So yeah. Also, before we go, thank you for letting us come on here. This was pretty cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Thank you
cool.
for
real.
coming.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I'll post some of my
All-Star.